And here's Donatello with his staff, right, his fighting stick. Hey everybody, Stu Carter here from Atamaii.com. And you know when I use those initials TMNT, you know I'm talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So stand by for a new toy review. Yes, the Turtles are back, and you know how old these guys are? Since 1984, since before most of you guys were born. And Playmates Toys have been making these guys since '87, and they're back again. They're gonna be on Nickelodeon, and I got a case of the first wave of the new action figures from Playmates. So we're gonna open these up and have a good look. So what I've got to show you here from this first wave, we've got Leonardo, the leader, the king of the katana swords. We've got Donatello. I understand he's the inventor and weaponeer. And we've got Raphael. He's the hothead, right? And he's an expert with the sai, the pointy things, right? And finally, I've got Michelangelo, the jokester, and the hard-hitting nunchuck expert. And you look at the back of the package, what you get is sort of a little bio of each character. And then if we zoom in here, we'll see pictures of the other characters in this first wave coming out. From that evil Foot Clan shredder, Kraag, and a 1 foot soldier, and then Splinter, the sensei, and then April O'Neil, who's, I understand, their human connection to the upper world. Well, you ready to get these out of the package and have a close look? All right. So each of these guys comes with a kind of a little advertising book that shows you all the sets that are coming out this year for the Turtles. And we're going to talk about that a little bit towards the end. And then you get, this is Leonardo, and you get the basic figure, of course. And then his basic weapons, he's the katana Japanese sword master, so he's got 2 swords. And then you get this extra accessory pack, which is nice. So he gets an extra katana, some kind of special type. He's got 3 throwing knives and some kind of a dagger. And then he's got 2 of those throwing stars as well. So that's pretty cool. Here's a good look at Leonardo. And first off, you know, I like the details they put into these. These are just basic figures. But you can see they've molded details into the wrappings, into his, like his elbow pads, into his shell. He's got scabbards for his katana swords. Details, you know, molded into his headband, his trademark blue headband. And of course, on his body itself, there's details to, you know, kind of give it relief. You know, so it's not just a simple plastic figure. It's, you know, it looks very cartoon-like, very much like what you would see in the show. And these guys have got a lot of articulation as well. They pose very easily. You can bend their feet. You can rotate them at the knees, bend them at the knees, at the hips. And his shell is flexible so that he can bend his leg up. And the shell will flex a little bit to let him bend his leg up high so that he can do kicks and stuff, right? Bend him at the shoulder, rotate him at the wrist, and rotate him at the elbow. And of course, his head will turn as well. And that's pretty nice. And let's put his swords in his hands. Sure, there you go. Yeah, a nice dynamic pose for Leonardo. And a good look at him as I rotate him around. And a lot of playability in these kind of figures. That's Leonardo. Let's look at the others. Michelangelo, he gets his nunchucks. You know, I grew up watching Bruce Lee movies, so I know all about nunchucks. And then his accessory pack has got this awful looking thing on a chain and 2 sizes of throwing stars. So here's Michelangelo with his nunchucks. And unfortunately, the chains on these are molded plastic, so they won't really flip around. You know, an interesting project might be for you to make semi-realistic nunchucks yourself, you know, with maybe find some tiny chain, you know, and pieces of wood and construct one. That would be an interesting project. And you see on the back of his shell, he's got a place to store his nunchucks when he's not fighting. Yeah, and that's Michelangelo with his orange headband. Raphael has got his sai weapons. You know, those are good for barbecues and stuff, make a shish kebab. And then his accessory pack has got 2 more kind of sai-looking tools, a couple of throwing stars, and then some strange-looking hook devices. If you guys are experts in martial arts, yeah, tell me what these extra weapons are, okay? So here's Raphael with his red headband and his sai weapons. On the box, there's a picture of him holding the sai kind of high up on the handle. So I put one in there like that. I don't know if I would hold sai like that. And I put the other one in a more traditional way, holding it down and using that guard, the guard your hand, of course, right? And like the others, the back of his shell has a place to stow his weapons when he's not fighting. And he's even got a little bit of damage on his shell here on his front. Did you see that? There's a little kind of a notch there. So maybe that's battle damage or something. That's interesting. Raphael. And Donatello, he's got his stick weapon, right? And then his accessories include a stick with a blade on the end, and a 3-segmented stick, and 2 large throwing stars. And here's Donatello with his staff, right, his fighting stick. And just to see if I could do it, I posed him with both hands holding the stick at once, which you can't always do with a lot of action figures. That's kind of nice. And of course, he's got his trademark purple headband, and you can see a place on the back of his shell to stow his staff. That's Donatello. And also, you notice there's a little bit of detail. There's like a buckle on his armor there. That's kind of nice. I like that, the details on these. There's all your Ninja Turtles coming at you, ready for action. And we were glad to have them to look at and to pose. So if you like turtles, you better hit that subscribe button and hit it hard, because coming up next, I'm going to talk about the secret sewer lair playset. Look at it, it's huge. So until next time, have a good day.
No one I know is out to kill me. I guess I'm doing okay. I'm lost among the millions. Just an empty head filled with the sky. I separated my life between the boring and exciting parts.